I want to read a letter here that will properly acquaint you with all of the trouble that is going on in Holland. Who is behind it? Who is behind the Times Magazine writing an article in there on me and trying to charge me with hate speech? Here is the author here. He wrote me a letter. That is the imperial wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. I want one of you to come up here and read this letter that is not a...
1 Thessalonians 2, 14, 16, St. John's 8, 44 and 48, Christian Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Arch leader J.B Stoner, Imperial Wizard, August 6, 1959, Louisville 4, Kentucky. Suite B, 702 Barrett Avenue, corner of Barrett and Broadway. National Headquarters, Post Office Box 48, Atlanta, Georgia. Honorable Stephen P. Kennedy, Police Commissioner of New York City, New York, New York. Confidential and top secret, reference to black Muslims. Dear fellow white man, the Christian Knights of the Ku Klux Klan is composed of all loyal white people, both Catholic and Protestant, native born.
He said they are composed of all loyal white people. Then when we look at all loyal white people, we are looking at all loyal Ku Klux Klan people.
Native born and foreign born, young and old, we are working to unite all of the forces of the white Christendom in the struggle to preserve the great white race.
To preserve, pardon me, just listen what he said. To preserve the great white race. Who is going to preserve the great black race? When you here want to be white. Well, now, who's going to preserve the black man? If you want to go over and be white, or let them absorb you and your color, who is going to preserve the black man? God and Elijah will try and preserve them.
The future of civilization depends upon the survival of the beautiful, intelligent white race, the bearer of Christian truth. I received a report from one of our Klansmen on the New York police force informing me that...
Just a minute. Did you say one was on the police force?
That's right. I'll reread it.
Oh, yes, sir.
I have received a report from one of our Klansmen on the New York police force informing me that the nigger Muslims are in rebellion against white law and order. Make a comment?
Now, he says that he has received from one of his Klansmen that is on the police force that we, the Muslims, pardon me, we, the nigger Muslims, are in rebellion against white law and order. I want that leader of the Ku Klux Klan to prove to us one instance where we ever have rebelled against the law of New York. On one instance, or anywhere in the country. I wished I could take him to Congress, and he and I sit down face to face with a mic, a national hookup, and let everybody see he and I talk together. I would like to do. We would pay $100,000 for every hour, for every half an hour, to get that kind of talk to shore up this wicked world. Right. Yeah.
He reports that those blacks have no respect for your honest white Christian policemen.
Just a minute. Now, we have no respect for police force. We are in Chicago for over 25 years. We were in Detroit 10 years. We go all over this country. What police is out there can say to us that we disobey them or their orders? We are the best law-abiding citizens there is in the country. When it comes to not making trouble, we don't make trouble. What we look like trying to rebel against the law and order of the country with nothing but our hands. We don't carry knife, gun, pistol, or nothing. We don't teach our followers to carry no such thing. We come to you absolutely without any armed with nothing but the truth. And yet we are the greatest troublemakers in the country, doing nothing but at peace with each other, and yet is troublemakers. That shows you who these people are. Move on.
Therefore, in the interest of law and justice, I am offering you the support of the Christian Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
Look out, Harlem. I read in the paper last week where they had already reinforced the police force. So better look at them careful. You will see a little badge with the cross on it.
I am an expert on the black Muslims and have kept up with their infidelic activities for many years. From my knowledge of them, I assure you that they are much more dangerous to white Christian rule in New York than you realize. You and I must join forces to stop the black Muslims now, or they will soon drive every white person out of New York City.
Very weak.
The largest city in the world will then be all-nigger city of black supremacy, where white black Muslims from conquering New York is for my Christian Knights and your New York police to join hands and work together to uphold white Christian supremacy. Without the support of my Christian Knights, the Muslims will continue to force you to retreat until you and the great Mayor Wagner and all other white officials and judges will be ousted from office. Then he will only allow niggers on the New York...
You missed the line.
Oh, I'm sorry. Passed the line. Without the support of my Christian Knights, the Muslims will continue to force you to retreat until you and the great Mayor Wagner and all other white officials and judges will be ousted from office. Elijah Muhammad will then give your jobs to a nigger and put in a nigger as mayor of New York. Then he will only allow niggers on the New York City Council, and all judges and all policemen will be niggers. By then, the Muslims will have driven all white people out of New York without exception. Don't let the black Muslims fool you when they demand entrance to schools in white neighborhoods or demand houses or apartments in white areas. They only wish to enter white neighborhoods and white schools so they can then proceed to drive all the whites out. Take my advice and we will put the niggers in their place instead of letting them take over New York City and all national power that goes with it. Continued, page 2, preserve the white race. Page 2. Page 2. We need to put the black hoodlums out of business. But we must do it in a legal way with the police and the courts. As a Georgia lawyer, I insist on doing everything according to law. You know what I mean. It is urgent. It is urgent that you persuade the officials of the state of New York to immediately repeal all ordinances and laws that prevent whites from discriminating against Negroes, because those evil laws constitute an open invitation to all the niggers in the South to move to New York City, where they will strengthen the Muslim and subject that giant metropolis to black supremacy.